Hello everybody, how's everyone doing? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Trialing out some new software, trying to make it work. Man, it's been a challenge, I gotta say. Welcome, thank you all for joining me. It's a real pleasure to have you all here. I'm just gonna be goofing around with things while we're sort of here. And just trying to make things work. So thank you to everyone who's just hanging out right now. This is one of the joys of doing things, is figuring out how to make things work. I'll try to make these memes a little bit bigger, eh? It's getting used to appropriate use of the real estate. Okay. If you can't read that, it basically says, "Sorry, Your Excellency, we don't have that George Michael album in stock." And the response is, "I find your lack of faith disturbing." How are you doing? Let's see here. George Michael album in stock. Okay, right, it's looking good. So yeah, I'm just hanging out. I'm enjoying having a play with the software. I'm grateful for anyone who's in here with me right now. I'm just trying to figure out where everyone is actually. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hear me. Okay. Okay, so it won't let me do that. Can I copy it? Oh, yep, sweet. It'll let me copy it. Cool. Yeah, so we're just doing a meme hangout, guys. Nothing too crazy. Not too crazy. This much crazy. This much. Just a little bit. Let's pull this fella down a bit. There we go. There I am. Look at me. Ah. Let's see. Can I see everyone and anyone? Is this a public one? That's the next thing. Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if this was like a private one, as opposed to like a no, it is a public one. Okay, well, let's see if anyone shows up. This will be fun. So, what's everyone doing? I'm just like literally sitting down and trying to make software and computers and things work. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. Let's bring Phil down a little bit. Not too much. Not too much. We don't need to bring him right down. There we go. Bring him over a bit there. There we go. Cool. How's that looking, guys? Is it looking all right? All right. Let's keep the memes rolling. Oh, this is beautiful, isn't it? Oh my gosh. I just love looking at beautiful nature imagery. It's so lovely. Imagine being in that cave and meditating and just looking out. Wouldn't that be special? I think this is it's getting a bit old, this gag, but it's still a goodie. Please stop blaming us for your strange behavior. It's like, what is it? There's another quote. It's, something along the lines of like, don't introspect or evaluate your own behavior. Instead, learn feng shui and learn to blame the furniture instead. Oh, that's funny. Man, maybe life isn't about finding the perfect lamp, but finding the lamp inside you. Gotta remember to look at the camera. Yeah, so is it weird if I look at the camera? I'm looking about here. I think I don't think I'm supposed to look directly into it. It's about there, isn't it? Yeah. So what are you guys up to? Come on, somebody must be out in the chat land. Is anyone in chat world? Oh my gosh. So, in your life, you are the paint, the painter, and the painting. It's quite profound, that. Might just take a moment. I think that light source is a bit much, isn't it? It's giving me a shiny head. Nope, that's a bit too bright. Let's try that one. Nope, that's too bright. It's not bright enough. These are all of the these little nuances that we've got to get right when doing these types of things, because we want to put out a nice thing for everybody. I cannot believe. Oh, hang on, what's going on here? Okay, docs. Where is it? YouTube live control panel. That's the one we want. It says I'm live. Oh, there is someone in here. What's that saying? But the streaming bitrate is lower than accepted. Lower than. Okay. Oh, it says I'm good. Okay, well, we'll roll with that. Oh, these are fun. So, I'm pretty sure these are real. They're kind of fun, aren't they? Like they're like a building with a bit of personality. I know what we'll do. What we'll do is that we'll go like that, and then we'll go like that, and then we'll put that down the side here, and that could be quite fun. Is that too weird? Is that too hard to read? If I just sort of slack it down the side there. Yeah, maybe I'll change that back. There we go. That looks just as good, doesn't it? That's pretty funny. I think, when we personalize things, like we, anthropomorphize them, or, try to give them some kind of, I guess, human kind of overlay, if you will, or makeup. Kind of, I actually think it's almost like, it's not that far removed from, like, sort of, when does something become something? When we start, what is that? There's been a bunch of movies about it. It's almost like the Pinocchio story. Geppetto's kind of talking to this thing that he's carving, and and I know in that recent Guillermo del Toro movie that the version of Pinocchio, I think it's a magic piece of wood almost. But when does a house become like or a ship become a personality? Like, when does it become some kind of egregor or a being, if you will? And let's see here. What's the quality like? Oh, yeah, it's not too bad. Excuse me, guys. I'm doing everything here in real time. Just getting all my stuff sorted out. Thank you for your patience. But yeah, this kind of... Actually, I might just see if I can drop that down a little bit. just to get the mic out of the image there. Let me know if the microphone volume's dropped beyond sort of, I need you guys to be able to hear me. So I'm just going to push that over a little bit. Cool. All right. So yeah, when does a house or a thing, like an inanimate object kind of start to, become alive in a sense? When we start sort of, I guess, giving it a form for personality. There's a mental construct there, and it has an astral, presence as well, with its form and color and whatnot. But it doesn't, have the maybe have the soul element. But we can talk to it. Oh, that's right. There was a Oh no, that's not it. Yeah. Anyway, just something to think about. Just something to think about. Another good one. Sort of looking at you sideways. And that's a classic. That's full on cartoon, that one, isn't it? Yeah, so what have I been up to? Since you guys are really talkative, I'll just jump in, make some space for me. I want to tell you guys something. Okay. I like the look on this chick's face. She's just like... What's been going on? Well, it's definitely turning into winter here. Autumn's giving way to much cooler weather, and there's more rain, and it's a bit soggier and that. So, for those of you that don't know, who don't recognize my accent, I live in New Zealand. I live in Auckland, which is in the sort of middle of the North Island, which is the most populated place. It's not the capital city, that's Wellington, but anyway, down here it gets dark sort of around, I guess, sort of 5 or 6 o'clock at the moment in the evenings. And yeah, there's lots going on here. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't even know where to start. I've actually done a few live streams that I've tried to set up and had to pull down because they weren't working correctly, which is a little bit disappointing, because obviously we would very much like to keep it moving. Oh, good one. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, Randy. How are you, my friend? You well? Am I coming through pretty good? Like, it's weird, like I'm looking at the audio mixer on OBS, and the desktop audio is not, the bars, there's no activity, and I thought that was the issue earlier today, but I do believe that's more for other audio coming through. So yeah, anyway, look, I did a whole bunch of stuff today, and then I was like, oh, technology says no, so I went for a walk, and so I thought I'd come back and do it again. Pyromancer. I think you mean Pyromancer. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, so this is Apparition of Face and Fruit, Dish on a Beach by Salvador Dali. And this was for sale at our local Salvation Army, charity store. I think it was for a grand total of like $12. And this thing must have been like 1.5 meters, like that, and then maybe like 1 meter like that. Like, it's pretty big sized picture. But okay, all right. I'll just turn the volume. I'm just going to turn the input up a little bit so that I don't have to speak as loud. I'd rather just relax a little bit, and then I just don't want to bring any noise in. Let me know if there's any external noise coming in, brother. I'm a little ways away from the microphone, so I'll just come up a bit closer and pull that in a bit, and maybe we'll drop this down a bit. Sorry if there's lots of noise there, guys. I appreciate your patience. Sorry, that's probably really horrific what you're hearing there. Forgive me. Okay, alright. Now let's try that out. It's actually still not that practical, but we'll put that there. Okay, so let's have a look. What else? What other memes have we got? It's pretty funny. Terry, quick, make a wish. I wish for 1,000 wishes. I think that's quite clever. Oh, man. Yeah. So I think you guys have known that I've talked about this recently, but I'm on a bit of a writing adventure at the moment. Haven't really posted anything yet. Ooh, that'll change shortly. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, I'm learning about, I put too many commas in my sentences and paragraphs and things, and so I'm just learning a bit of writing etiquette to cut back on too much stuff. I'm learning some different writing styles, and so I'm learning about pitfalls of, it's like using too many big words. And in most cases, they're unnecessary, and it's just sort of a kind of mental wankery, really. In some ways where it's not appropriate. If you're trying to just talk to people, sometimes it's completely unnecessary. But yeah, just learning some of these things, because I recognize that sometimes I can be quite verbose. And so these writing exercises and things they're also helping to shape my dialogues and monologue skills as well. And so I'm quite pleased with how that's going. I'll just pull that folder in a bit. There we go. Oh, you didn't get a notification, bro. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. I was listening to a guy talk who does YouTube stuff, specializes in it. And even he was saying that the notification are they're called vidIQ, and they're like one of the sort of premium, one of the most well-known sort of YouTube, get started on YouTube and how to use it, utilize it well. And even he was saying, is that picking up HD? It kind of is. Even he was saying that the notification bell is just it's not hardly worth it. It doesn't work all the time, and it's possibly due to certain conflicts. But yeah, he was joking about it, saying it is a bit of a joke. So that's why I can post on YouTube, and I can post on Facebook and Telegram and maybe Substack. I just don't want to. The Substack thing and how to use that best is I'm still learning how to do that. So yeah, I'm like, what's the best way to sort of like let people know? And I have to say, this is short notice too. Like if I had scheduled this in advance, which I did actually, but only like 5 minutes. If I scheduled it and then this is gold. This is absolute gold. I'm going to blow this one up a bit. When you schedule, it will come up in your feed as a scheduled event coming up. I don't know, because I don't really get notifications because I don't use that function. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to, man, it's telling me the bit rate's really not that flash. Anyway. So when I'm scheduling, it'll roll through if you scroll through your YouTube. I don't know, how many people out there go to their subscription tab at the bottom of their phone or on their, the subscription on their YouTube to see, I mean, this was pointed out recently too, that YouTube has changed it. So if you go to your, when you first log into YouTube on your machine, it'll give you, your home feed, not your subscription feed, but your home feed. I don't know if it's on the phone though, but on the computer, it'll give you these horizontal rows. It'll be like, recommended, whatever, gaming, movies, whatever. Apparently it used to show subscriptions up the top. And so the first thing you would see is like, oh, there's something new from someone that I've subscribed to. But apparently that's not there anymore. You have to navigate to the subscription tab or something like this. And so what it's been replaced by, because you've got two things. You've got, there's kind of like random stuff that gets thrown at you, which is not algorithmic, which I don't think really happens anymore. Things that you may be interested in that everyone else is watching, for example. Then, of course, you have the what YouTube recommends based on what you like to watch and listen to. And then, of course, there's your subscriptions, which are what you purposely wish to follow. And it's kind of marginalized that in favor of recommending. And, so it's going to be based, more on that. And so, if I make a thing and put it up there, it won't pop up at the top of when you log in and that, but like I said, that's just for computer. There's heaps to know and figure out about this stuff, and the problem is that they're always changing it. So, relying on the algorithm, our Lord and Savior, is just, it's pretty pointless, to be fair. Trends are probably a really good thing to sort of follow, and finding relevant trends is a good one. And I think too that when it comes to things like wellness, holistic wellness, and how that relates to pop culture events, esoteric related things especially as well, there's a lot of scope for commentary to sort of comment on trends. I mean, I could start talking about, I've just had something come through about the, I just want to quickly talk about this meme here because it's just gold, isn't it? You are a cute T and pie. A cutie pie, narrow, scolding, and irrational. I'm just laughing to myself, guys. Hope you're all right. How lucky am I to have a sink full of dishes and a belly full of food? Indeed. Something to think about. So, who's got my ring? I do. I gotta say, the Chuck Norris memes are some of the best. I don't think that the the political push to sort of you'll never get rid of like the hard man. It's just never going to happen. Because the pop culture will keep Chuck Norris alive. And I think everyone gets a kick out of it. He's just like one of the original badasses. And as much as there's a push to sort of marginalize masculinity, like it's hardcore, guys? I don't know if you noticed it, right? It's in the movies. It's just everywhere. There we go. That looks about right, doesn't it? And let's try to get the dimensions on the page there. The other one I got to have a play with. Ta-da! Actually, maybe I'll put that up the top. So let's use Randy's comment. Thank you, Randy. I'm just gonna. Okay, all right. Let's pick one of Randy's comments. Randy Sanderson. All right, let's see if this works. I'm having to do a lot of workarounds because I'm a power user now, so I have to do things a little different. Let's see how that looks. Something look really good or really bad. Okay, all right. So there it is. There, Randy Sanderson didn't get a notification on YouTube for this either. Okay, so what I would need to do is do that and then go S. Aha, here we go. Okay, that looks like it might work. All right, Okay, it cuts the top of my head off, but hey, I can live with that. Let me just pull that up a bit. Maybe I need to put something in behind there too for the philrice.substack.com there. But anyway, so the thing is now is that I don't have the ability to just like click on a comment and it just pops up on the screen like it does in the streaming softwares. I have to use, like, I have to basically copy and paste a comment and then put it into a text box, and then that reads it and imports it into OBS, and it's great. I'm going to learn how to use it. There are some other programs I've found. I'm going to go to bed early tonight. Also me at 3 a.m. Why aren't there dinosaur ghosts? This is a valid question. But anyways. Yeah. So there are some softwares that allow me to sort of, put images, like put comments up on the screen, but they're actually like a lot more technical than I would have thought. So I need to spend some time with that. So that'll probably be another live stream. So yeah. But anyway, guys, we're here in the dojo. Thank you for joining us here. We're just having a hangout while I try and figure out the software and make it work, because haven't been doing a little lives lately, and a lot of you guys have been hanging out, and so I know you've been hanging out. You've been jonesing, man, when's Phil going to do another live? I need him fixed, man. Well, here I am. Things I hate. This is not going to work too well, is it? I need to bring this down a bit. There we go. Things I hate. Vandalism, irony, and lists. This here is one of my all-time favorite meme images because it's very clever. And so I love sharing this one because I know there's a lot of you out there that appreciate fine, acts of literary expression, if you will. And so this one here, I think, it's not, it's obviously a little not that aesthetically pleasing. It literally is graffiti on a wall, but it is definitely a piece of art, and it's a very clever one, so we'll roll with that. I think my house is haunted by the ghost of a chicken. It's a poultrygeist, a foul spirit. I'm going to call an exorcist to help it cross to the other side. Oh, this is stunning. Let's pull this up. Man, check this out. Can I put myself in it? Here I am. I'm right there. Cool. Honestly, I'm having so much fun with what this software offers. It's like having your own TV station. Like, it's better than the streaming softwares because they tend to be quite limited. This here is like, man, I can do so much. The green screen's looking great. I'm so pleased with how this is working. Just trying to get some nice light on me. And just get these images coming through so they're easy to see, because I know a lot of you guys watching this will probably be on your phones and this might be challenging to look at. But anyway, I just wanted to... Isn't this stunning? Isn't this absolutely stunning? Man, you look at the amount of detail. You walk into the average 2 to 3 bedroom house nowadays, and it's all just like, white walls and carpet and some furniture and very minimalist, and that's fine. I'm a bit of a minimalist, but you imagine walking into a place like this and just be like, this is the amount of time and effort that's gone into crafting this kind of environment. The different types of materials, the hours, the number of people, the amount of time, the tools, sourcing the raw materials, getting through to a certain point, making a mistake and either having to throw the whole thing away, starting again, or, could you fix it? I know that's always a struggle, like, for people, Maybe you're like printing miniatures or something like that on your 3D printer, and you're printing off a beautiful statue and a piece breaks off and you're like, ah, and you go to glue it and it's like, yeah. How about this for the life, eh? Imagine that for your work view. I think that would be actually end up being really distracting, to be honest, but I'd give it a shot. It's funny, it doesn't look like, it looks, the scene looks too old for a flat panel LCD monitor, but maybe they've been around a lot longer than what I realized. I think it was in the 2000s, I think, that I started seeing them pop up. I remember getting them at work, but man, wouldn't that be awesome? Check that view out. The carpet and all the, that'd just be great. I don't know about the ergonomics of the desk setup though, working on a computer without being able to get your knees under the desk. Minimalism is a scam created by big small to sell more less. Indeed. Oh, this is stunning. Check this out. So it's a reflection of the bridge. I imagine you'd be able to see it from the other side too. It'll look pretty amazing. Very cool effect, eh? You know, like, yeah. I remember going into a gallery in Wellington, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody had basically painted like the water ripples with the street lights all rippling through it. It was a very cool effect. So yeah, this is a pretty standard one in the world of people who do holistic wellness stuff. Yeah, we can band-aid you up and put you back out on the field, but will I see you again? Because the thing you did that brought you here, if you don't stop doing it, then I guess we'll see you again. And I don't know, like, I mean, repeat business is good for business, but, you know, if somebody keeps coming to see you because you're not able to completely fulfill the reason, it's like, maybe you're not that good at what you do, right? That could be the impression that people get. You know, if somebody keeps coming back to you for healing sessions, if they get a result every time, but they keep coming back, you know, they go back to banging their head on the wall or something like that. Yeah, it's funny, eh? You know, like, yeah, I'll have to do some videos on some healing stories, because they offer some really good sort of allegory, and just stories, you know, of people's journeys and things. You know, everyone can take value from them because they're actual things that happened. You know, and that's why, you know, when you're trying to set up credibility as, say, like an esoteric healer like myself, you know, I generally just operate under the banner of Reiki. That suits me pretty good. I mean, I'd love to be a would I? Nah. But you know, establishing credibility through social proof requires things like testimonials and people validating through, like, yeah, I went to see Phil and I had a thing and now I don't have a thing, or I had a thing and now it was this big and now it's only this big, and that's some sort of success. I think that if you go to see an energy healer or a spiritual healer or anything like that, and if you walk away, you know, if you go in there expecting the miracle, like the Jesus level healing, you might be setting yourself up for a bit of a disappointment. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, amazing things don't happen, because they do. I'll say very surprising things, even in one session, even like within 5 minutes. Some people are just there for that thing. They're supposed to come and see the person, like myself or whoever. But you know, sometimes it's going to take 3 sessions. And I've heard healers say, you know, you shouldn't have to go for more than one. And I'm like going, that's not my experience, but okay, sure. Everyone's going to have a take on it. I'm trying to get outcomes, you know, like, I want to be able to go, we've mowed the lawn. The grass looks nice and cut now. It looks nice and clean and tidy. We've taken off that noise, if you will. It's very easy to look at now, although nothing like a nice fresh meadow. Oh, another stunning piece of art. Yeah, so just quickly back on that, on the healing buzz. If you are planning on going, I would look, if you're going to see someone who's like a professional Reiki practicer or healer, and they offer a package, and they've got good sort of testimonials, and they came recommended, and you're feeling very confident about it, number one, I would be very wary of expectation. Just rock in there, just completely open-minded, wearing comfortable clothes. Don't get jacked up on coffee and sugar and stimulants beforehand. Things that are going to make you need to pee and make you all wound up, and go and sit in a park somewhere beforehand, do some meditation just to get yourself nice. And because basically when people get on the table, if they come in straight from another thing, it's going to take them 20 minutes to chill out in a lot of cases. So but yeah, I would encourage people, rather than going for a healing session, if you will, if you've got the funds, consider investing in like a series of sessions, because things will happen in the first one. They'll either be obvious or not so much. Things will happen in the second one. They'll either be obvious or not so much. And then things will happen in the third one. Same again. But if you go to a physio once and they don't fix your sore ankle, chances are they're gonna ask you to come back, because you're like going, this is gonna, because a lot of this stuff takes time, and sometimes, and this is going to sound a bit, well, I don't even know why I'm prefacing. Some things are supposed to take time. Some things aren't meant to be healed all at once. Sometimes your life turns to shit and everything hits the wall, so that you can contemplate and reassess and reevaluate. Come on, Stan, you can do it. What are you, a pelican or a pelicant? Okay. There's not too many bad dad jokes in this mix. I'm just going to skip past this one. I saw this one because it had the void in it. And, we're all about the void. And the colours are pretty good too. Hi, I'm your void. You can shrink me by feeding me booze and junk food. But now you're even bigger. No hablo inglés. Very clever. I'll blow this one up. I think we can all sort of identify a little bit with this one, eh? And you think about all the things that you would have liked to have done, and other stuff just gets in the way. There's always something that's going to need to be cleaned. There's always something that needs to be reorganized. There's always something that needs to be looked at, to be resolved, to be sorted out. I've got to say, for me, and one of my weaknesses is snacks. I do love snacks, and even though I don't eat a lot of variety, I don't know, it's like back in the day I used to be a cigarette smoker and an alcohol consumer many years ago actually. It's been many years. And you'd have your cigarette in one hand and your drink in the other. Or was it the other way? Smoke? But no. I think I held the beer in the right hand because you didn't want to drop that one. So you'd have these things you were doing, and then you would be doing other things too. I wasn't really a drink by myself kind of person. I tried it. I found it kind of boring, to be honest. Was more of a social person, but you're kind of doing these things and ticking these boxes, and you may be, the old image of the old guy with the smoke hanging out of his mouth and the cup of tea, and he's doing everything all at once and multitasking, if you will. But I go and I'll go and get some snacks, and then I'll sit down and eat while I'm trying to think. It doesn't really help. It's important to keep fed, but very distracting. Very distracting. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh. Let's bring this one in. Hang on. I'll make it a bit smaller so we can get it all on the screen. Look at that. Look at that. Imagine that for your backdrop. So there he is. He's I'll see if I can point to it. Oh yeah, no, my camera's not quite. You can see he's sitting there. And he's got that incredible tapestry, if that's what it is, or this. What's the correct name? Does anyone know what the correct name for that is? I'm guessing it's like a wall rug in a round room, and he's on a computer there. Man, would you feel inspired or distracted or overwhelmed by the majesty of the situation? Oh, jeez. Makes me want to travel. We haven't got that kind of stuff here in New Zealand. We've got some kind of things, but nothing that, when things are older, they have a presence about them and a mystique, perhaps, and a magnificence. Maybe that's not the right word. Yeah. I mean, there's some architectural feats that survive today. So many of them, right? And they are so incredible. And yeah, I mean, I just love looking at this kind of thing because it makes me want to travel. Oh, this is a fun joke for you guys. I'll blow it up so you can read it. If you can't read it, it basically says, this is a Honda Odyssey, and it's the bumper sticker says, "My other car is an Iliad." Did I get that? Did I get that? That drum fill, that drum beat right there, Mr. Randy Savage? Hopefully I got the hands right. Cats know how to relax, don't they? They know how to chill out. They're just the true Zen masters. Although I have to say, I went round to a friend's place recently, and he's got he's somehow involuntarily adopted. In other words, they showed up on the property. They were hiding in amongst the fence, but they pulled them out. A mum and about 6 little kittens, I think. And these little kittens, they're always just scrapping each other, eh? And then they'll all curl up into each other, and it's hilarious. But yeah, not so zen like this little fella here. Fella? I don't know, can't see, but that's nice. That's nice. It's very peaceful to look at, isn't it? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Work so hard that people think the aliens did it. Man, that's actually really bright on my face, isn't it? Oh my gosh. When I put a white image up on the screen, I need to sit back a bit, I think. Who are we, philosophers? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Who are we? What does it mean? Who am I? Great take on this meme. Great take. I know that there's a lot of people watching this will be looking at this going, ooh, I want to be able to confidently say this. Because doing nothing is still doing something, isn't it? Yeah. Hanging out in the cave. man, just looking at this and how lovely. You're going to sleep? Yes, now shut up. The Star Wars text is still floating through space. Oh my gosh. Oh, hey, true. I've got something I want to show you guys, actually. Where is it? So, I don't know if you guys have... Okay, I'm going to see if I can open this up so you can see it. Properties, Chrome, Empire. Okay. Okay, I think that's coming through. So I'll just take that off while the ads run.
Rated M for mature.
Sorry, hopefully you can't see that. But I wanted to say there is a brand new Star Wars fan film out, which is this one here. Oh, Heir to the Empire. And there are a couple of other versions of it, as you can see. There's that one there too. The one underneath it is actually not too bad. Like, there's a series of them. But there's a brand new one up the top here. That's an anime version of it. And it's got Luke and Leia and Han, and I do believe it's got Lando in it. And it's a continuation of the story. It's actually pretty good. It's probably not on such an epic scale in some ways as the movies, but it's still like really good. Like, lots of people are covering Heir to the Empire, and yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to put that up there, guys. So if you haven't checked it out, Heir to the Empire, Jar Jar Jargon is the channel, and yeah, go check it out if you're into it. All right, here we go. The 7 deadly sins, the 7 holy virtues. So, those of you who are offsetting your elemental imbalances, you may find that there is some value in that image, because it gives essentially the two poles, the two ends of the pole. And you can see, it's funny actually, because there's even a pillar in the middle there. So if you want to, basically negate or diffuse, dissolve, minimize, isolate, then you need to adopt the complementary opposing virtue. Okay. Oh, this is so fun. So you guys know that I like me a bit of Substack, really getting into it. And there's so many great, like, I mean, obviously you'll see something like this on Instagram or, on Facebook as well, but this this here, what's going on here? This here is just glorious, isn't it? I don't know why I put the numbers down the bottom there, but yeah. I mean, basically, people will just, come up with clever things and share them. I love it. There's just more of this kind of thing on Substack than what you get on Facebook or anywhere else, man. I gotta say. Like, there's just, yeah, there's a lot of other stuff too, but there's no ads. Oh my gosh, isn't that glorious? No, none of them creepy ads. Oh gosh, the stuff I've been getting on YouTube and Facebook lately. Oh. It's enough to make a person not want to get on social media, I tell you. Like, it's funny the stuff that they'll ping you for, and then it's funny, you know, the stuff that they allow on there, eh? Like, some of it's not overt, but it's a euphemism, or it's inferring things, and it's usually sexual in a weird kind of creepy way, and I'll just leave it at that. But here's another beautiful cave. Imagine being in this cave. Let's see what it's like. I'm going to put myself inside this cave because I can. It's pretty sweet in here, guys. How you liking it? Is it alright? Do you guys like the... Oh, I'm not sure I can get that quite... It's not quite the right size and shape. Never mind. If I flipped it on its side, I could probably do it, but then it wouldn't be quite correct, would it? No. Man, nice to look at these images. Just very peaceful. Very relaxing. And it reminds me of my pink noise. I've got a pink noise track that I like listening to, and I can just put it in any room, and I put it on my little speaker here, and I can put that in my room, and if people are talking in the next room, it just fills all the sound in, and I can't hear anything else, and it sounds just like a waterfall. Pink noise, guys. I'm going to check that out. And all you can hear is the waterfall. And once you sort of pay attention to the sound of the waterfall, if you will, or the pink noise, any static towards it, any resistance starts to fade, and then it's just like this thing that's going on in the background, but it masks and covers up and overlays everything else, and so it actually helps to create a good pocket for practice, because it just sorts potential incoming audio distractions, if you will, or sound distractions, noises and things. Oh yeah, this is cool, man. Check this out. I'll see if I can get some more. Look at that. Look at the details in that. Like, somebody spent a long time doing that. I'm trying to think of what that reminds me of. It's like that Howl's Moving Castle type thing, I guess. It's pretty awesome, though, to make something like that and then just start looking around it and exploring it. Dig it. I dig it. Oh, check this out. Isn't this next level? Is it real? It's gotta be. It's just incredible, isn't it? That's like, from a hermetic point of view, using that old as above, so below with the tree and the root system and the branch system comparison, the relationship. You know, see the stairs as the roots, even, you know, going up and going down. They're climbable. That's the key part here. There's a bunch of layers in this. So you could spend a whole bunch of time doing this. I actually thought for the next Bard in that I might bring up some images and get the panel just to talk about them and see what they sort of get, I guess, what they can come up with, because these images are so evocative, aren't they? You know, they can just, wow, you know, they can, it's like, you know, what certain music can do for you as well. It's just like, wow, you know, it takes you somewhere or gives you an experience that you haven't had before. And that's where, you know, creative ideas can arise. Oh, okay, hang on, I need to make this smaller. I tried to walk like an Egyptian, and now I need to see a chiropractor. Oh, it's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad. Here we go. I was reading about atheism. Turns out it's a non-profit organization. Hey, this looks cool. I almost look like I'm on a news desk or something, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, this is pretty badass. Check it out. Professors teaching math be like, this is the radius, and this is the diameter. Do any of you guys remember the moment in The Phantom Menace? Was it The Phantom Menace? Yeah, I'm sure it was The Phantom Menace. Yeah, this is the one where they killed Darth Maul, isn't it? Prior to that, it was, yeah, that's right. And when he clicks on the double lightsaber, and it's just like, whoa! Because I'm pretty sure that's the first time in the Star Wars movies that we saw it. I don't even know if they had in the first three movies. I don't think anyone was rocking two at once. They really took the combat and the fight choreography to whole new levels in those prequels. And even if you struggle with the prequels, because they are very different from the original three movies, they are still just, an evolution, from the first three in their own right. And yes, I know Anakin Hayden Christensen is very challenging to listen to, especially in the Clone Wars. Man, that's yikes. That was a struggle. I don't know why they wrote him like that. I guess they were trying to put him across as sort of like, the sort of emotionally unstable type adolescent. But yeah, when that dude rocked out that double lightsaber, that was pretty awesome. Three shakes of the head, thanks. People are stuck in strange, counterproductive loops. Indeed. I think this kind of show, this meme show, is probably not something you'd watch after the fact, is it? I don't know. I'd rather watch these sorts of things live and hang out in the chat and have a laugh and that. So these might be the better types of shows if I do more of these, to schedule these. It's great too. You see down the bottom right there, the artist has put their website. If you're making memes, put a little tag on it to show that you made the meme or the image or whatever. I prefer to be able to sort of like, give some props to the creator, Oh, check this out. This was a it probably actually doesn't look as good like this. This is a close-up. Like I cropped it. But this was a cloud when I did, Monday morning was the new moon here in New Zealand. And I got up nice and early, as I do. Went and then I think this was, I can't remember what time it was. But I opened up the curtain and it was getting light. And yeah, this really interesting looking cloud, especially with that 3 shape in it. That was really interesting, like an M or a W upside down or whatever you want to call it. It's really fun. That image does not do it justice, not at all. Oh. That's another lovely image. Could spend a bit of time looking at that one. Since hair can't be preserved in fossils, we can't rule out the possibility that dinosaurs looked like this. This is true. trying to think who that reminds me of. Is that like a Marilyn Monroe cut, maybe, or I don't know. It's pretty funny though. Oh, this is classic. So, where are we going? We're following you. Oh, that's great. That's really great. Yeah. This one really hits. This one really hits. This is me and my snacks. One of the best things I've found is to just, when you find yourself sort of operating on a default pattern, you go into the kitchen, you get a glass of water, and you just sort of find yourself going into the pantry and opening up the cupboard, right? It's making those unconscious patterns conscious. So you catch yourself, it's like, what the heck, how did I get here? And then you see them crackers, you're like, oh, I could go for a cracker right now. And then you go, nah. I think that's something I really appreciate about being introduced to asceticism. Learning to minimize and then just look at habits and patterns and deal to them. Where are things getting in the way of other things? That's a good one. When something that you really want to do is got something else getting in the way of it, but you also like doing the other thing. There's two things that you like doing, but there's one that you want to do more, and you know that the one that you want to do the most is going to take you somewhere and it's going to be a better option. But the other thing, it's an old friend. It's a comfy jumper. Oh, I can't get rid of that. Oh, but it gets in the way of the new thing that I want to do. What do I do? Well, what do you do? Got to weigh it up, don't you? Chances are the old thing is probably not that good for you. I think there was a caption on this, was there? Nope. Okay. This is pretty funny. I think one of the excuse me. I think kind of like leaving karma out of the picture, cause and effect. I think that this kind of I know people who are pretty much atheists, if not just, they're just not into spiritual stuff, or just don't believe in, believe or whatever. But they do the whole what goes around comes around thing. They're like, yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. No, man, that'll bite my ass back down the road a bit. Oh, okay. Yep. Who remembers Richard Scarry books? I had a set of them. They were awesome, and the illustrations are so rich. There's so much going on in them, and he made these little towns with these animal sort of working, and you can see the town hall there and the post office, and there's cats and dogs and rabbits and pigs and they're just sort of doing their jobs and things. And yeah, it was such a fun kind of way to look at how the world works through young eyes. It was friendly and fluffy and fun and interesting, and yeah. So, this is great, isn't it? Check this out. I'm reading a book at the moment. I can't remember what it's called. Urban Shaman, and it's by Sergio. It's got he's a. I don't think he's a native Hawaiian, but he has become an honorary type Hawaiian shaman because he's studied and practiced as an outsider, but he's been embraced as kind of like someone to carry the torch because no one else from Hawaii is doing that. And so he's the one who is kind of, I guess what you might call sort of, keeping the tradition alive. And he's written all these books, but this book is fantastic. It really is. It gives, and it mentions the Māori people who are I guess you could loosely say they're the indigenous people here, but there's more complexity than that. I think, it needs more explanation, but essentially, he talks in this book, Urban Shaman, about how they break down the layers of reality in regards to the self, and it's kind of similar to the sort of mental, astral, physical, but it's more about the subconscious and the logic and it kind of almost talks about them as being their own kind of personalities and systems. They each one is a separate thing that kind of, I'm still working my way through it, but it's fascinating because it's you can run it side by side with, say, hermetics and even the system, like the Taoist systems that you see in Qigong and Tai Chi and Reiki, and that you see them reflected in there, and you compare these things and you see the relationship between systems and traditions, the common underlying principles and things like that, and it's very helpful because when you're trying to build up a portfolio, if you will, or when you're trying to market yourself as someone who offers metaphysical services, I guess, you're looking for the most, I am anyway, I'm looking for the most intelligent and useful language and references I can find. And the guy writing the Urban Shaman book, he's got a PhD. I don't know what that means nowadays for a bunch of reasons. Just about anyone can get one, and just because you've got a magic piece of paper don't necessarily mean you're the all that in a bag of chips. But I'd like to think that one thing that a piece of paper like that would point out would be that you've spent a lot of time doing a thing and learning about a thing and writing about a thing. However skewed your view may be, or the place that you learned at, whatever, you're going to have a reasonably good, I would like to think, sort of understanding you're going to have a depth of knowledge on something. And so this Urban Shaman book is great because he's got a PhD and he talks like a PhD, but he's bringing it down to the street, and it's wonderful because he gives lots of very clear examples. He knows how to write. He knows how to illustrate a point with a relatable explanation. Very good at articulating it. I haven't come away from, I've read probably a good half of this book, and I'm not left going, that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, he explained that well and it makes sense. And he will refer back to other systems and things too. So, yeah, Urban Shaman, guys, it's a good book. Probably more useful for people looking for reality models, and also for healers. If you're a healer, then this is definitely worth checking out. Because essentially, like a Reiki teacher, practice or whatever, is like a urban shaman, if you will, if you're operating in the neighborhood, and this ability to operate and support yourself. Because this is the thing: is you want to get lots of hours in. Really want to get lots of hours in doing this stuff. And I mean good hours. And there's a big difference between going to, say, and I haven't done this, going to like a spiritual fair where you set up a table and you have people come in, you know, they pay like $20 or something, and they get on the table and you do the thing, and you know, absolutely you can get value from that. Absolutely. It's more about, it's always, you know, if you're looking for training partners, your clients are your training partners, and the training partners are going to be the thing that gives you the experiential knowledge to help take you further along. It's like, you know, the more guitar you play, we'd like to think the better you get at it, right? So if you're able to, you know, have more people on the table doing regular sessions, your ability to pick up on things, for example, you know, your perceptual skills will pick up, and you'll notice that when you make slight mental shifts, that you'll see registers in people. That's a really interesting one. When you see people, when you just do it, and a thing happens. Hey, what's up, Zane? Great to see you, my man. Thank you so much for joining us. Glad you like the beanie. My younger sister knitted this for me. There's another one too. I've got a big blue one that I really like. It's really good for the winter time. This one doesn't stay on my head that well when I go out into the wind. But it's quite cool. I thought I'd wear it because it's a little chilly and my hair's getting quite long, and you know, a bunch of reasons. But I thought, you know, I'm sure people on the live stream will get a kick out of it. Oh, this is great. Check this out. Just sold my homing pigeon on eBay for the 22nd time. Oh, that's just great. It's just gold. Oh, man. We're getting a lot of pigeons where I am right now. I know that they're like, you know, in some places they're a bit of a nuisance in that they call them like the rats of the sky or something. I think it's a bit unfair. I mean, they're just animals and they're doing their thing. And I'm sure that they are possibly a pest in some ways too. But they're quite beautiful birds though, aren't they? You know, maybe not when they're shitting everywhere, but... but yeah, we got a lot of them up here. We got a lot of birds up here at the moment. There seems to be I don't know where they're all coming from. There's a lady up the road, and there's actually a few houses, and but there's this one lady, and she lives in this house just over the hill. And when I go for a walk, there's just pigeons and ducks everywhere, and they're all over the lawn, and they're all over the roof. And why? Because she keeps feeding them. And so if she moves out, I don't know what the new tenants are going to be able to do about it. You know, I guess maybe if they stop feeding them, they'll stop showing up. But they'll show up for a while, you know. But yeah, there are so many of them. Like 30, 40 of these pigeons on this roof. It's insane. But yeah, we got a family just up here that was feeding the ducks, and this is not a good street for feeding the ducks, man. We live in a weird, we've got a weird shaped street that comes down, and so you got to be really mindful of like when you're driving down it, people race down it, but there's these ducks everywhere, and yeah, dude, don't feed the ducks. They're all on the road. They don't understand road rules. Hey, what's up? It's Nostalgia. Hey, how you going? Looks like I'm going to put this... Okay, here we go. So I'm going to take this example, this opportunity to use my new... that one and that one. And I'm going to put Nostalgia's thing and go like that. Okay, and then go like that and see how this works. Will it work? Oh, it mostly worked. I'm doing all this stuff on the fly, guys. I'm grateful for you guys sticking out while I figure this out. Nostalgia says, looks like selling pigeons is the secret to eternal wealth. Yeah. That's very clever. Well done. Nice one, Nostalgia. I think that's maybe it, it's funny, I watched this great movie the other night called Romancing the Stone, if any of you guys remember that one, with Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner and Danny DeVito. It's an old classic, and there's a sequel, Jewel of the Nile. And I won't, no spoilers, but maybe one little one, is that he gets, he's collecting birds to sell, and he loses them all at the beginning of the movie. That's how he meets her and that, but... yeah, apparently birds are a bit of a thing, right? Well, you make a good bit of cash apparently selling birds. Let's maybe put that over there. Let's put that one there. Hey, I tell you what, guys, what would be really helpful is like, let me know what the audio's like. Let me know what the image is like. I think this camera is not quite picking me up in 1080, and I think it might be because of the light. Oh, it looks all right. And just let me know if you can read the comment up on the screen easy too, if you could. Because if it needs to be bigger, then I'll just make it bigger. But I'm kind of doing everything while I'm here, so thank you, everyone. Oh, yes. This was put up the other day by, I think it was Christoph Maybeck. He's a Barden teacher, and he's pretty active in the community too. But I really like this one. Especially because a friend of mine's really into Rudolf Steiner, and I thought, well, this would be fun to share with her. So at this cafe, various occultists had their meetings, including Pierre de Larsenic, Rudolf Steiner, and of course Franz Barden. I saw a really cool number plate today when I was going for my walk. It was Fran B. We're gonna love them synchromistic opportunities. Yeah. I gotta say, I love sitting in cafes, and as long as the music's not too overpowering. People singing and pop music, can't do that. But those cafes that play that kind of lo-fi, jazzy, kind of just instrumental stuff, oof. Yeah, the coffee's on, got your laptop or your pen and paper, get in the creative zone, go and meet some people. It's great hanging out in busy places, isn't it? When you need that or you want that. Okay, how are we doing? Seeing how we're doing for images. Oh, well, I've still got heaps of memes left. Oh, well, it looks like I'm on for a bit longer, guys. Thank you for hanging out. We've still got a stack of memes left, so we'll just keep going. Oh, I saw this the other day. I think it was Jason shared it, and it was just, yeah, it's true, eh? I remember coming back from a walk the other day, and I was so tired, and I was like, I wonder if I can transmute this tiredness. So what did I do? I went for a run. I wasn't tired after that. It's weird. I had this guy, better be careful how I say that, right? I had this guy say to me, he's a psychologist guy, and this is years ago, and he would say, it's funny, you'll be on the couch, feeling a bit down, or a bit like you feel like a sad sack. You'll be just like, you got no energy, you got no motivation, you got no drive, you're just feeling pretty stink, and then you'll get a phone call or someone knock on the door, someone's there, or your food's arrived, and all of a sudden you're all full of life and all the engines start cranking. But how do you shift yourself into those modes and out of those modes? I gotta say, I really notice it when I catch myself just doing mindless scrolling. If I've got time to kill or something, I just catch myself, and then I'll start doing practices. There's certain patterns that need to be replaced, and I think one of those is I have to say, I really have to say this, is that I have switched, because I'm on Substack now, and I'm actually getting into like exploring their ecosystem rather than just using them for like newsletters and posting up videos and things. Like they've got if you get the app, and then the bottom left of it, there's the short form, the notes, which are like just short form posts, and then the next one over is their subscription posts, which are more like their long form, like the newsletters, the emails. But their short form stuff, man, there's some great stuff in there, and there's no ads, and you will just be surprised at what comes through there. So if you haven't got the Substack app, just go try it out for 5 minutes, man. You know, you'll feel smarter for the large part. There's a lot more intelligent discussion going on there, and there's no ads, and there's not really. Yeah, I just find it's just a nicer place to hang out. Like Facebook is just it's just yeah. It is what it is, isn't it? You know, we make do with what we've got. The first step is the hardest. So you break it into smaller steps. You break it into them little micro bridges, right? And this is what we got to do with our practice too. You know, when we hit a stumbling block and we're like, I don't know what to do. I'm not getting the thing. It's like, well, what are you trying to do? You're here. You want to get here. This thing seems way too far away. What you need to do is you need to find the middle bit and go, oh, okay, there's a bridge here. I can go from here to here and then to here. But then you're like, I don't know how to get to here. What about halfway? What about to here? Oh, I can do that. Then you start there. And that's why, guys like Mark Rasmus, who've, basically interpreted the Barden material in this, he's just described it, and broken it down so fantastically with comparative analysis. And there's other teachers too, obviously, but for me, Mark Rasmus is the game changer. He's just got this wide swathe of knowledge, experiential knowledge, especially that from various systems, martial arts, Qigong, and he synthesized an understanding that just everything just starts to make sense. Is it the ultimate truth of all time? Maybe, maybe not. But for the moment, it's probably the most useful model that I've found. And this idea of making, building these causation chains for practice, these understandable, oh yeah, I can see, why I do this and how I do it. And then the next thing, oh, I can see how that leads to that, why we do this, and then that comes. And then you can, I've seen this said, a fair bit on social media about Barden, with the especially initiation into hermetics is, once you sort of get to step 5, you kind of know what's going on from there, Once you got those first 5 steps kind of nutted out, you're like, oh. And I think too that when you've got a clear understanding of where things are going, I think that that's valuable. Now, I know that he says, don't go to the next exercise until you finish the previous one, kind of thing. And look, I've met so many different people who have a different take on that, and their explanation as to why he put that in there, and whatever. These these exercises are not new. The order in which they're put into and the curriculum that they're laid out on in the form of the compendium that Barden has provided is unique, though. There are some, the Reiki system has got a similar kind of thing, but it's nowhere near as comprehensive as what Barden's put together as far as a thing, whatever. But yeah, just, because chances are if you're coming to Barden, you've already been doing some meditation, but he did design that curriculum for the busy person who's only got, 1 or 2 hours a day, and and he's trying to, so what he's, but making a one-size-fits-all education system. I've worked with a lot of people as a corporate trainer and as a music and guitar instrument and an instrument teacher, and people learn things in different ways. And you've probably heard me say this before, and so, trying to come up with the one size fits all is no simple task. It's a mean feat, to be able to package up an understanding in a blanket educational format so that everyone will get it. Well done. If you can make something that pretty much everyone's going to get, I think that's what we aim for. Some teachings, they say, are not meant for everybody. I hear that a bit. And yet I also hear the opposite too, that, everyone can benefit from some level of understanding. There's these, I guess, what would you call them? Layers of depth that are appropriate for someone, for where they're at and their life path as well, Oh, this is gold. Let's just leave this one on the screen for a moment. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Well, I've got to say, I am really surprised at how little number of people are on this live stream. I know this is not when most of my audience are on. They're mostly American, so they're all in bed about now. But, or some of them will be getting up, I think, too. But, yeah, like, it's actually quite odd, because I did a live stream on my phone the other day, and man, at this time of night, and there was like 20 people on there. So I tell you one thing, guys, that I've noticed, for those of you that want to get into social media stuff, especially here on YouTube, is, if you're live streaming, it's different on a phone. It's different based on the device you're using. Like, I'm on my computer here right now, but if I was going to do this on the phone, like, historically, what I've noticed is I get far more people just show up on the live stream when I'm on my phone. Now, it could be a bunch of reasons why, but I know that there is device-specific kind of algorithmic tendency, I guess, that is apparent. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because that's quite an odd one. The problem is, I'd love to do more on my phone, but my phone's not that great. I don't think the microphone's that great, and the battery's still not too bad. But I've been doing some live streams on Substack, but it's just terrible. Like, the sound comes through okay, which is good, but the picture's all pixelated, and it doesn't. Yeah, the phone's just too old, so. 5 p.m. here in Seoul. Oh, yep. So this is definitely more like the Aussie sort of South, East Asia kind of crowd. This is a fun one too, because there's a lot of Aussies that like to jump on the party, I guess, but maybe it's just not the right time of the week. Yeah, I think most people are probably still at work. That's my guess. Oh, they're all getting quite meaningful now, aren't they, the memes? Short-term benefits. Yeah. I've done a bit of this in my life. How about you guys? Thought it was a good idea at the time. Temporary ended up burning a bridge or two, unfortunately. Made it harder to do other things. Yeah. This actually brings up a lot of old memories. You know, when I look back on my own life, especially when I was a musician, and when I was a professional and as a teacher anyway, you know, I think about how I used to talk to people straight out of corporate, because in corporate I was a pretty cocky, I was quite arrogant, bit of an asshole to be honest, and then I went into music teaching, and then I was in a whole new unknown realm, and you know, I was working with kids and that forced me to grow up and change and be a lot more aware of, you know, how I sort of interacted with people, and realizing that, you know, talking with adults and talking with kids are very different situations. Adults will be like, whatever. Kids, far out, they'll take that on as gospel, man. Phil said this, he said that. It's okay as long as it's good or right and appropriate. Or it's not even that they repeat what you say. It's that they take on board, you know, like if they trust you, if you've gained their trust, then, you know, they're very impressionable, kids. Very impressionable. And, you know, when they've got a new role model or someone they look up to, they will just take all that on. They'll take on the good and the best parts. They'll take on, but they'll also take on the bad things too, because they'll probably see that being acceptable or something like this, you know, or they just think, oh, it's part of the package. It must be okay to be like that. Yeah, because I did that. I used to work with a dude years ago, and he was very good at his job. I learned a lot. I actually grew up. He was like a big brother, actually. I was only about 16, and but he was also married to the job, and didn't have much of a social life, and I ended up taking a lot of that stuff on too. There were some other things too, but I just think about the people in life that I've met, you know, that I've been highly influenced by or have left an impression on me, and how I may have picked up on some of their stuff. Anyway, another meme. Maybe let's see what will happen next. Here we go. Now we're back to our land. If you are going to be weird, be confident about it. I'm pretty sure that's going to be an AI, because just about everything's AI in it nowadays. It's getting easier to spot it though, isn't it? I mean, getting harder to spot it, but it's still pretty easy to spot, I think. I was listening to some AI generated music the other day, and I could hear it. Like, it's impressive. Like the singing, wow. Like the vocal was just like wow. But you can, if you know, I've got a trained ear, man, and that was hard training that ear too, right? But you close your eyes and you got the headphones on and you're picking out the instruments and you're doing the transposing and the oral perception exercises. Anyway, and then you know, 20 years, 30 years later, you're listening to AI generated vocalists, very impressive, but you can still pick it, man. You can still pick it. It's like back in the day when it was the amp wars, which are probably still going on between solid state amps and tube amps. Like, you can get you can get an effects pedal, and you can put it on like a special speaker called an FRFR, full response. Oh, I can't remember what it is. What is it called? Hang on, I want to find that out. full range, flat response. Yeah, so that's basically like the cleanest like way to experience it, and it's like you get a real good quality even some of the older ones are pretty damn good. A fix unit, put that on top of an FR, and then like run your guitar through that, and it's like, wow, that sounds really good, nice and round, but it's like, whoa, there's something that's not there. But if you're going to be weird, be confident about it. I think that's a great way to live. I think you got to make sense though, because otherwise people write you off, and you don't want to alienate people that, I enjoy talking to intelligent people, and some of them don't really have a lot of time for this type of esoteric stuff, and so I'm very hesitant about talking about certain things in crowds. I mean, we don't do that anyway. This is our pillar of silence. But even just saying that I'm a Reiki teacher, I'm sure there's people in this community, in my audience, that like go, oh man, he's a Reiki guy. Oh man. But that's just how it is. But I know I've met heaps of people who do things like healing and readings and all sorts of metaphysical stuff, and I'm probably the least kind of new age person I think that I know in regards to what I do. Like, it's not, I don't know. I'm still trying to actually decide what that term means. What does new age mean? I tell you what, if you guys have got a good explanation or a good quote on what the word new age means in a sort of a good articulation, I'd love to hear it. But yeah, I got some friends who are pretty new agey, and don't get me wrong, they're wonderful people. They're some of the kindest, nicest, most thoughtful, generous people that I know. But when you get in a conversation with them and they start breaking out all this language that you've got no frame of reference for, or it's just like, they're, I don't know, man, look, I'm a hermeticist. I'm seeking to understand, things have got to make sense. I've got to know what's going on, or be able to at least know that I can know what I'm wanting to know, and there's ways of doing it. But yeah. Oh, here we go. I saw this. I couldn't find the artist though. What do you guys reckon of this one? I'm going to make myself a bit smaller. Let's leave this one up for a bit. What do you reckon of this one? Tell me your thoughts. I have to say that as I move through the journey, this is a terrible AI image. Looks like he's cut off at the knees there. I just kind of, you got to watch out for things getting bland, when you're dealing with nothing but principles and, I just really like, I really like this because it makes me think about it, like I want my hermetic journey to be exhilarating and interesting and exciting and nourishing. Like I like that kind of thing. I don't like bland stuff. I mean, I used to be a improvising rock musician. I like things to be exciting and no, it's when I say exciting, I'm going to pull back a little bit on that, because those of you who know me know that I've certainly chilled out quite a bit over the years, and I'm not really into fast-paced living like I used to. And so, oh, here we go. Good on you, Zane. That's actually a good one, Zane. Nice one. Let's get that up on there. Okay, let's see how this works. All right, let's try this out. Thank you for your comment, brother. Let's put that up on there. Let's see if this fits. Doo-doo. Bam! Let's see. Will it work? Will it work? Will it work? Oh, oh, oh. It didn't work. Why didn't it work? Oh, it's because of that. Okay, so Zane's given us, actually I'll just shift that out of the way for now. Zane has given us a bit of a comment here, which I think is quite good. So we're talking about what's a good definition of New Age. And I think, you know, bringing up Blavatsky is probably a good option. I haven't really read a lot of Blavatsky, to be honest. I know a lot, I think it's mostly kind of a Western syncretic approach to snippets of traditional esoteric streams that began to be popularized post-Madame Blavatsky. Maybe I'm wrong. I would tend to kind of agree, especially about the syncretic approach, because honestly, it just feels like, you know, you just find some stuff that you like and you sort of slap it together, you know. It's more theory. It seems like more theory and mental masturbation in some ways. Like, you know, just trying to make things equate, you know. And you know, but there's no real sense of actuality to it that can be demonstrated. You know, everything in this Barden system is about, you know, direct experience. It's not about pontificating or speculating. There is theory, but it's theory that can be applied and tested out, you know. And it takes time, some of it, because you've got to develop perceptual skills to be able to have the experiences. So thank you, Zane. That is actually very cool. And I think, yeah, you know, as far as like, you know, I mean, it's good to speculate and it's fun to be able to sit around and talk about stuff, and this is related to that, and we can see how that relates to that. But I got to say, after years of doing that, I got tired. I got bored. I wanted more. And so, yeah, I'd kind of just... Oh, hang on. Shit, where's that gone? Where's my memes gone? Oh, there they are. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, so that was great, Zane. Thank you, brother. That's an excellent way of putting it. And yeah, I mean, you know, being in the Reiki community, there's a lot of it. And like I said, not slandering or anything or anyone, because there's a lot of beautiful people out there who are just doing the thing, and they're helping a lot, and, you know, keeping things alive as well. It's just, excuse me, the explanations are just lacking substance and depth. You know, it's more, it does come across more as a speculation, or I've got a bunch of fancy esoteric words that I can string together into a somewhat coherent sort of, you know, expression. But yeah, I mean, look, the community is the community, and you know, and they all, it's all valuable in some form or another. Whether they're someone who wants to debate you online, so you can use that to tighten your game, or it's you know, something that, oh shit, the opportunity to grow. Oh, this is a good one. You need to tear muscle to grow it. Why would it be different for the mind or the spirit? Ah, that's great. Isn't that great? Let's leave that one up. Now, let's see. Does this tell me how long I've been going for anywhere? Oh, I can set goals on this. That's kind of fun. I doubt very much I'll be able to set any goals if I'm only getting 1 or 2 people showing up to the live streams. Yeah. I think mainly too, like, you know, it's not a very hermetic hangout. I've got to plan these better, I think, because, yeah. Anyway, this is a great one because we're just doing tech stuff. Just doing tech stuff. This is a good one. This is me as the healer dude going. This is probably one I'd probably put up for my clients. And for myself every so often too, because it's totally applicable. Because sometimes I eat stuff, or go to do things, or listen or watch things, or hang out in situations, or engage in certain things. And then, yeah, I'm like, I knew that was going to be a bad idea, and what do you know? I was right. It was a bad idea. That's great. Crap. Why do I feel like crap? Ooh, check this out. Check this out. That's cool, eh? I wonder how comfy it would still be, though, after all those years. You know, leather can get a bit, sort of lose its softness. Victorian leather reclining reading wing armchair by J. Foot and Son Limited. A fine example of craftsmanship and design from the Victorian era. It's pretty cool, right? Doesn't seem to have a space for your remote control, though. This is quite a profound statement, this one. Let's make this a bit bigger. They have removed the struggle to find anything. Bookstore owners and record store owners used to be oracles in that way. You'd go into this dusty old place and they might point you towards something that would change your life. All that's gone. It's quite a different experience now, isn't it? You know, it's like going to the DVD store back in the day, and you would go and just scan the shelves, you know. You might kind of know what you're looking for. You wanted an action adventure movie or whatever. Now the algorithm or the site or whatever kind of presents to you, you know, what it's got, what it's selected for you, if you will. So, yeah, something I'm quite conscious of, because my feed is definitely getting manicured more and more and more. And it sort of feels like I'm being nudged in a certain direction. Here's a nice light-hearted one. Silly me. Here I was hurrying through all the things I once hoped for. Yeah, it's hard to drop that rat race too sometimes. No pun intended. You know, years of working in corporate. And then I got to say, quitting corporate and then going to be a musician, that was quite a shock, but it worked well. And I took a lot of good things from corporate into the music world and helped to set up some good systems, actually. It sorted me out well, but I was still in a hurry, though. It took me a long time to slow down. It wasn't really until I got to meditation that I learned to slow down. I had a massive burnout at the end of my music teaching career. Massive burnout. I actually got burnt out with my corporate job and with my music teaching. Don't like getting burnt out, although it's a great way to kickstart a new adventure, but it's like, you should be able to do that without hitting extremes. But yeah, I really enjoy the simple things now. I've got to say, I'm pretty happy I don't have too many things to distract me. Life's good. I am very blessed, and I'm so grateful. Simple things. Pretty sure this is an AI one. But yeah. Can't do anything about it. What's the stress, man? Don't worry about it. It's all good, right? It's all good. Can I actually see how long this is going for? Where is the... Oh, there we go. We're going for close to a couple hours. That's pretty good. Oh, check this out. Isn't this glorious? I do believe that this is in Iceland somewhere. That's magic. That is just pure... That's some Lord of the Rings stuff right there, man. I think some of Lord of the Rings was filmed in Iceland too, wasn't it? These are the sorts of places you can only really visit. You wouldn't be able to really live there, which is great. You know, they kind of protect themselves. Although I'm sure somebody's probably tried, and there might be someone living up in the mountains in a cave or something. But yeah. I just thought this was kind of quirky and cool and kind of esoteric cool. Would you? So yeah, not too much hermetic stuff. And that's okay. Bit of esoterics though, that's good. Now for our finishing piece. It was a sad and disappointing day when I found out that my universal remote control did not, in fact, control the universe. Not even remotely. Yeah. So. Pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Grateful to you all. Make me nice and big. Here I am. Yes, so what's happening? I'm kind of in the middle of a bunch of things at the moment, and so I don't have anything solid to share as far as upcoming events for the channel and the Substack, etc. However, now that I've got, well, I feel like I've got this software pretty much sorted now. What that means, there we go, right in the middle, perfect. What that means is that I can, like, the cool thing about this OBS software is that I can literally open it and press like 3 buttons and it's go live, and there's nothing to navigate. And so it's actually very easy for me to do live streams here on the computer now, which is great because fortunately the old phone, it's not doing too well. So yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who's chimed in, jumped in. I'll rename this live stream so it's not dojo so much, it's more just hangout. But everyone, I want to wish you a beautiful evening, a beautiful morning, a beautiful whatever, wherever you are. I'm grateful for you all. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please check out, oh yeah, if you haven't already, philrice.substack.com. If you like the material that I'm creating, whether it's my blog posts on Substack or whether it's my social media, whatever it is that I'm doing, that's the best way you can support me, guys. You can get a subscription there for free, and you will be updated on things that are going on. There'll be blog posts and articles. There'll be Substack exclusive types of videos and content on there. And there's also a paid subscription, and it's like $5 a month, and that helps in so many ways. And so if that appeals, I appreciate it. I'm very grateful. Thank you. But outside of that, I haven't really got too much news. But yeah, if you go get on the email list at Substack there, you'll be kept well apprised of upcoming things. And yeah, I'm going to be getting something out the next couple days that I'll be able to package up for you all. But oh yes, Friday, I think it's going to be about 1 o'clock New Zealand time. I will confirm, but I will be doing another live stream with Solretta and Greg on Solretta's channel. And so if you want to come and hang out, I don't recall what we're going to talk about, but it's a good fun crowd, eh? You know, Solretta's got a big channel, and well, a bit bigger than mine anyway. Yeah, she's putting this thing on and bringing Greg and myself on. Greg and I are obviously both Reiki dudes and that, and so, you know, we're all friends from years ago. So it's always a good fun hangout, and the crowd's real fun, so yeah, man. And if you haven't noticed already, I think I'm at, or is it? I'm at 979 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm like 21 subscribers away from having 1,000 subs, and that'll be very cool. And I will do something for that, but I'll do it as a surprise. I won't create any expectation like I did for the 500. I'll do a surprise thing. But yeah. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button, guys. Help me out, man. That'd be awesome. Other than that, that's it. Have a beautiful day.